Hooray for Hollywood! Oh, hello there. About missed you. Stan the Movie Man here with the latest WIMZ.com movie review. Went to see two this week. The first is a heartwarming, gut-wrenching, emotional story called The Condemned. It is the story of 10 convicted killers who are on death rows around the world who are brought to an island that is wired for sound and also video, and they are going to fight each other over the course of 30 hours. And the object of the game is to be the last survivor, and at the end of the 30 hours you're allowed to go free. Now, Stone Cold Steve Austin stars in the picture as an American who has been convicted of murder, and he's in a Central American prison. However, things with him are not as they seem. Hint, hint. So, the film is not nearly as exciting as it should be. With all the blood and guts and gore and fighting and chasing and running, it's just not all that exciting. The fight scenes are shot many times with a very tight close-up jiggly camera, so it's kind of hard to tell what's going on in the fights, and after a while you just sort of get numb to the whole concept of these people killing each other. And there's a couple of characters in the film who are part of the production. The fight is being shown over the internet for $49.99 per person, and the couple of people involved in the production develop a conscience all of a sudden. They decide that even though they know what was going to happen, once they see it, they don't like it, and they fight against the media mogul who's putting on the production. And that just came across as sort of silly. And at the end of the movie, it just falls completely apart. The ending is preposterous. So I have to give. Oh, and let's not forget, Stone Cold Steve Austin is a wrestler. He's not an actor. That's very important. I have to give The Condemned 2 guitars. Moving on to the other picture I went to see, which I was a little disappointed in at first anyway. I went to see Hot Fuzz. And I was a little disappointed because, well, I thought it was porn. Turns out, though, it's a British comedy about a London police officer who's so good at his job, he makes everybody else on the force look bad. So they kick him upstairs, they give him a promotion, and send him to a little tiny town in the country called Sandford, where there hasn't been a murder in 20 years, and the biggest thing that happens is the swan gets away, an actual swan. So, you know, they send me to this little town where allegedly nothing is going on. Turns out things are going on. There's lots of accidents where people accidentally die, and it turns out they're not really accidents. And if you're like me, you're sick of me doing this. So the movie's pretty funny. It's not Monty Python goofy funny. It's a more subtle comedy, but still very amusing. And it's made by the same guys who made Shaun of the Dead, the sort of parody of zombie movies a couple of years ago. So it's pretty funny. The ending, again, with this picture is the problem, because the conclusion of the film is just sort of ridiculous. So now, as far as my rating, I'm a little torn with this one, and I promised the guys in the graphics department I wouldn't do this, but I have to. I have to give Hot Fuzz 3.5 guitars. Go to WIMZ.com to read my complete review of both films, as well as to vote for the movie that I'll see next week, which, by the way, will be Spider-Man 3. Until next time, Stan the Movie Man saying, sayonara.